Okay. Happy Friday. Well, actually, it's Tuesday, but you guys don't know that because we're recording today.
we are recording on a Tuesday, and it's actually a really nice day out today.
I know. It's like I've only left my house once today, but we're not going to talk about that.
No, it's okay. The only reason why I left my house is to come over here because we record over here. So, but it's a beautiful day in Michigan.
Beautiful day.
Welcome everyone to When the Light Goes Out.
When the light goes out.
We're on episode 3 now. I'm so proud of us.
Episode 3.
Woo! And I have really just, the more these weeks go by, I get more and more excited about this show because I remember that I actually had to work throughout the week and stuff, and I'm like, so the only thing I'm ever thinking about is like the next episode, and I'm so excited now.
We have a fun one for you guys today.
Oh my gosh, yeah, this one is pretty crazy, I'm not gonna lie. I think, we're doing 2 episodes. We're recording 2 episodes today, so that was the next thing I was going to mention to you guys. We are bumping it up a little bit, so we're going to be doing a episode on Mondays now, just for the month, for a little treat for you guys.
We love October. It's spooky season, bitches.
Yes, we were like congregating, and we were like, what is a good way to give everyone love in the way that we know how to? That's more episodes.
2 episodes in October.
Woo!
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Woo! I don't even know how to do that. So this episode will come out on Friday, and then on Monday we will have a nice little spooky episode for you guys.
Leading all the way up to Halloween.
Halloween's is on a Monday this year, so we will be getting a cute little story prepared for you guys in the meantime. So look out for that. I guess the movie of the week, should I say? I don't know.
No, well, it seems like we've been talking about something.
Yeah, like a good movie.
Let's talk about it. Hocus Pocus 2, people. I have some opinions. To be honest, Simon and I watched it last night, and we only got about halfway through because I fell asleep, as to be expected. But I think the original is obviously better.
Oh, yeah.
So far. I mean, I didn't finish it, so maybe I shouldn't have opinions. But why was it a musical?
Oh, that's all true. I did not like that part, and I was confused because I don't know if everyone's seen it, and if you haven't seen it, skip forward, but
Yeah, we're spoiling it for sure. So
spoilers ahead.
Listen at your own discretion.
But the witches were singing the minute they were on screen, and I was
and then they sung in the middle again, and they started singing
they sing a lot.
Yeah, the one way commercial.
Oh, that's so true. Oh my
Simon was like, that was such a missed opportunity to sing the one song from the original.
Yeah, the original.
I can't think of the name right now.
I put a spell on you.
Exactly.
And now you're mine.
I'm like, what a missed opportunity. Anyway, I didn't finish watching it, so don't spoil the rest for me, Kendall. But
I won't, I promise.
It really wasn't. I don't know.
I get it too. I also think that I want to say that the movie, again, the first one was too, but I feel like this one was more of a parody. My friend kind of said that too. It seemed kind of like a parody of the first movie.
Yeah,
so.
I had a total different expectation, and I think they could have done different with the plot. Simon was even saying something about the kid in the original, his son. And he's the dad, he's all grown up and everything, and now it's his son who, lights the candle, and it's, something different. But it did almost seem like a parody. It seemed super, I don't know.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I think for me, what made it all the better is because I went over to my friend's house, and like I said last episode, she had set up for that thing. Oh my god, we had a movie premiere, so what she did was she made all these different foods, Datman's toe. It's kind of it's like pigs in a blanket, how you put the sausage in a croissant, and that was cute. And then oh my god, so many different things, the spell book was a brownie, and so
I love that.
They're so cute. I'm like, wow,
well thought out. I wish I could cook.
Hey, she could. I can. I haven't cooked in so long.
That's a conversation for a different day, though, people.
It really is. And one other movie I wanted to just quickly mention that I strongly suggest you guys should go see is called Smile. That
Oh,
movie,
I've heard about that. Everybody's been saying
Yeah.
it's like super creepy.
it's so
I haven't watched
creepy.
it yet,
It's been on
but-
my mind for the last couple of days. Ever since I've seen it, it's been on my mind. It's creeped me out. I honestly, everyone was kind of like, oh, I thought it would be a lot like that one movie that came out. What is it called? Truth or Dare?
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, it's kind of like that where they have this creepy smile or whatever. But there's a big difference between them, and I really think this one was really good. It definitely, like I said, stuck with me, so I think it's worth seeing. So I'll go check it
It's
out.
gonna be added onto the list of things I need to see when I have time for.
In 2027.
Yeah, maybe like 4 more years, but we'll see.
It's all right. All right, everyone. So I don't want to waste too much more time. I think that's about all the little chit chat that we wanted to talk about beforehand. So
Let's get on with the show.
let's get on with the show, and
It's like
we are going to. I know.
Let's get on.
Let's move on.
I can't sing, but he can.
Oh no! We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that today. And yeah, so let's just bring it all the way down, super dark, to our story today. I actually had not heard of this story personally. This is actually a listener. One of our listeners had actually suggested this certain topic, and I'm sure that she's gonna appreciate this. So
Shout out.
shout out to you. And this topic is the Metal Fang Cannibal, aka Nikolai. Oh shit, I said that wrong already. Nikolai Dzhumagaliev. He is a pretty gruesome murderer. He is a necrophiliac, a cannibal, and a serial rapist. So, just a discretion, guys. If you're not okay with the rape talk, there's not a ton in it, but I can say that it is in there. So, just forewarning. Well, without further ado, didn't really know how to jump into this one, so I'm just gonna go right into it. Nikolai Dzhumagaliev was born on November 15th, 1952.
Girl, not on my birthday.
Yeah, he
Not
was.
November 15th.
I'm so sorry. He's a Scorpio.
The Scorpio hatred just got so much worse.
It
y'all.
just got way worse. He was born in Yuzhny, a part of the Soviet Union, which is now Kazakhstan. He had a Belarusian mother and a Kazakh father, and was also the third of 4 siblings. He was actually the only boy in the family. He was, full of, a family full of girls. So he was only boy, and from most given sources, it was found that he had a pretty standard life growing up. He didn't really have, any really bad ties to his family or anything. He was very well educated in his youth and had a pretty fair relationship with his family. But sometime within his childhood, he had gotten into a pretty ugly fight with a kid and ended up losing his teeth, his 2 front teeth at least, and it resulted in him having to get white metal dentures. Metal.
What year is this?
This is 1952 is when he was born, but this is, I want to say, several years into the... So this is maybe 8 years later.
They were doing metal teeth.
Metal teeth.
50s?
I don't think that's something that's usual. Let me just backtrack for a minute.
This man got some chompers.
He was given the option to be fitted with dentures, but instead declined the traditional plastic resin, and he just decided he wanted white metal fangs. They literally are like,
what a guy.
no, not for me.
A vampire with metal teeth.
Yeah, hence the name,
Metal vampire?
Metal Fang Cannibal. Yeah. Oh, and I also found a source on one of these sites I was looking through, and it actually described him as the villain right out of a James Bond film, and I'm like, kinda, yeah, I could definitely see that. Except, I'm sorry, no villain would ever do shit that this monster would do, so it's a big difference. But after his 9th grade year in school, Dzhumagaliev had went on to study at a railway school, and in 1970, at the age of 18, he was assigned a mandatory military service in the Medical Defense Corps in the USSR, Well, in the Medical Defense Corps, he had developed a skill for hunting as he was most of the time in the mountains of the USSR, which really just shows its ugly head later on, so beware. And soon after, in 1973, he tried applying for school to further his education to find a nice, well-paying job. But unfortunately, was kind of failing at everywhere he was looking at and was just not getting accepted. So he instead just began working various blue-collar jobs throughout the Urals, Siberia, and Monarchs. I want to say it's Monarchs? Mormons. There's so many different twists and ties in this one.
Really interesting names.
Woo! It's usually even the places too. I'm sorry about that. And such jobs that he would work were being a sailor, an electrician, a bulldozer operator, and a firefighter, which are all very ironic and different.
Very random too.
I know, and I'm like, okay, well, he did what he had to, I guess. But the one thing about Dzhumagaliev is that, according to CrimeLife.com, he did have his metal fangs for teeth, but he was also very well dressed, and he just appealed to a lot of young women. So he worked these various jobs, but also was doing a lot of hooking up with these women.
Honestly, not surprised, because I feel like bitches in 2022 would love that shit.
Woof. Honestly, I was thinking about that. I'm like, I wonder if people would really like metal fangs. Like, would that be attractive?
I think they would. If it was like kind of
the right person.
Guy.
I feel like you really like G-Eazy, so that was like G-Eazy.
All right, let's not pull him up, because Simon's going to give me shit about that.
Okay, fair. Okay, we'll move on. La la la. Where were we? Oh, and in 1977, things unfortunately really started to take a shift for the worst when he had returned home to his hometown in Kazakhstan. He would then find out soon that he had contracted syphilis and trichomoniasis, which both are sexually transmitted diseases and infections. And for the next couple of years, 2 years to be exact, he went through a lot and suffering through it. I can only imagine the unfortunate pain.
Yeah, those do not sound fun.
Oh my gosh. But it is more unfortunate too because he began to blame a lot of women, just all women in general, for the reasons of him contracting these diseases, and eventually it sparked a I put very like 7 times, very, 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 very dark and twisted hatred for women.
Fun! It's always women's fault.
Yeah, right? No, not at all. Guys, no. And he definitely knew at this point he wanted to cause chaos on women, and that is when he began strategically planning his first kill.
Dang.
Oh my god.
This man really contracted 2 sexually transmitted diseases and then was just like, I hate all women.
Yeah, like that's not anyone else's fault, dude. I'm sorry. Like, be careful, guys. That's all I have to say. Be careful if you're gonna...
I can't believe that was what sparked it all. All right. Let's get into the nitty gritty.
I'm like scared that it's so much. Okay. So, in January of 1979, Nikolai Dzhumagaliev commits his first horrific murder and convoluted murder. Warning, this is when there is mention of rape, gore, violence, and a lot more going forward. So, yeah. Dzhumagaliev had hunted down a local Uznagash woman. Again, he developed hunting skills on animals, and then he uses them, unfortunately, on human beings. So he stalked down this poor young woman near a mountain tract outside of Uznagash along the rural path. He snuck up behind this woman, dragged her aside, sexually assaulted her while simultaneously slitting her throat with a knife. He began to drink her blood. And while this is all happening, a bus had slowly driven by, so he was able to crouch next beside her body, and kind of stay hidden. And he got cold for a minute, boo fucking who, and literally warms his hands on her as she's like dying, and this bus is driving by. And eventually, when the bus had, went out of sight, he then proceeded to strip her bare, and then used his knife to skin her breast, take out her ovaries, separated her pelvis from her hips, and then placed the body parts in a backpack to take them back home with him.
Oh my God.
Oh my, I know. That was harder for me to say than it was for you to listen, I promise.
That was way worse than I ever would have expected it to be. Wow.
It gets really dark. Oh, it's not even done yet. So when he had returned home, he would melt the fat to fry. He would grill her flesh, and then he would pickle any leftover parts he didn't use.
Ew.
Pickle? Like...
He really said save them for later.
Yeah, I can't, my mind does not go this far, so it's just like...
We're laughing because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we are, because
Oh my God.
It's terrible. So...
That's terrifying.
I can't even imagine. Wow. And so Dzhumagaliev had truly lucked out because when the body was later found on the side of the path where he killed her, police had opened an investigation but found no leads from the grisly scene. So, over the next few months, Nikolai would commit 5 or 6 more murders, cannibalizing every single one of these victims and storing their parts in a fridge.
Why is he not being talked about more than Jeffrey Dahmer?
Isn't that crazy?
I've never heard of this guy.
I never heard of this case until my friend told me. I'm like, oh my God.
He's like so much worse.
It's truly horrific, guys. It really is. And it's not even close to done yet. So strap in.
I mean, honestly, Jeffrey Dahmer was really bad too. But like, this is like equivalent, if not worse.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the same concept almost,
Just
right?
wait till you figure out.
Were they not active at the same time, too?
That's a good one, yeah. Yeah, they're similarly...
Like a similar timeline.
Yeah, they're around at the same time. And,
wow. Yeah. Okay, moving on.
Wait till you see what this man does.
Oh.
So, throughout the time, he was ironically working as a firefighter, which... Okay, you're saving people...
I was just about to say that. Saving people, but also killing them in your free time.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of those are women, so I don't understand that logic, but okay.
He has his morals,
I guess so.
check, apparently.
Fucking...
Not really.
Dickhead. Oh my gosh. Oof. And on August 21st of 1979, an incident had occurred while out with a colleague, another firefighter, and it was a drunken fight between them both, and... unfortunately, which resulted in Dzhumagaliev shooting and killing his coworker and was arrested for manslaughter. So...
As he should.
As he should have been, yeah. But he wasn't found guilty.
Why?
After the court found the shooting to be a I'll rephrase that. The court had found the shooting to be a mistake, and he had also been diagnosed with schizophrenia by Moscow's Serbsky Institute.
How is that considered a mistake? They were literally fighting, and then he shot him. Where's the mistake? Schizophrenic or not?
Yeah, thank you. I'm kind of saying the same thing, and it's going to get really irritating in a minute, too, so...
Oh, God.
Dzhumagaliev was released from police custody after being, quote-unquote, treated with, schizophrenia, and went to Yuzhny Okhotsk, where he hunted down and killed 3 more women. Not surprising if you're going to let a killer go, but yeah. Okay. And this asswipe somehow manages to make friends after being released from custody and severs these women's meat and feeds them to his friends at cookouts. So, yeah, it could get worse.
Imagine his friends finding that out. That's really...
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Oh my god. Oh my god. And it gets worse.
Worse.
Yeah. So, in December of 1981, Dzhumagaliev had hosted a dinner party with his friends one night. Several of his friends had come in with their girlfriends, and it was just a splendid night. But, unfortunately, one person would not make it out alive. Shortly after guests arrived, he had offered them drinks to get comfy while he pulls aside one of the women that attended the party for a private conversation, quote-unquote. Now, not a ton to go off of on this by who the woman was, because I just honestly didn't find a ton of information on it, but he had managed to get them in a room alone and only a couple doors down from where his guests were. Then, at this woman's, vulnerability, had grabbed an axe and struck the woman with the axe and began to dismember her body right then and there. And this would be his 9th documented murder.
With his friends in the next room.
His friends were right next door, guys.
And they didn't hear anything?
Nope. But here's the thing. Eventually, the cats began growing worried of what the two were talking about so long, and they walked down the hallway to the room where they both were and peeked in to see a horrific view of Dzhumagaliev hacking away at a woman's body. Reasonably, the guests quietly fled in fear and called the cops as soon as they left the house. He was so tranced with murdering this poor woman that he didn't even realize that his friends saw this. And so that is kind of why he didn't even make any, fleas at the time. So the police did show up, and they had seen the blood-spattered room that was wall to wall. They also saw the unfortunate battered remains of this woman. And unfortunately, they also had seen a nude Dzhumagaliev covered in blood kneeling over the hacked corpse. So the set of police officers that had shown up first were taken so aback that by the scene that they managed to not even keep a close eye on Nikolai, which he flees the murder scene while still naked and hides out in nearby mountains. And that's when a 24-hour manhunt began.
I hope they found him.
Well, on December 19th, 1980, only one day later, Dzhumagaliev had been found hiding out at his cousin's house, which was not too far from his own house, and both were arrested, which, I'm sorry, I didn't find much about the cousin, but why the hell would you keep your cousin in a house after you knew that he killed somebody?
I'm glad that the cousin got arrested too, because I'm sorry, but if my cousin's murdering somebody, I am not letting them stay with me.
Listen, I love my family, but I can't help y'all.
Y'all are on your own.
Oof, I'd be creeped out in the first place, coming in dressed bloody and naked. Oh, my
I'd
God.
be like, no, you've got the wrong house.
Literally. He did confess to all of the murders of these women while in custody and had to add that they were sex workers, as if that is the problem here, and wanted to quote that he wanted to rid the world of them. And then 1 year later, the trial starts. On December 3rd of 1981, Nikolai Dzhumagaliev was charged with murders he was suspected of doing, but the previous diagnosis of schizophrenia had saved him from being found guilty.
Why?
Okay, if anyone knows why the hell you would go and live in Soviet Union and not be, charged for murder, instead be, given a diagnosis of schizophrenia instead.
How is schizophrenia literally they're like, oh no, he has schizophrenia.
That's literally what they're doing.
He murdered 9 people.
And there's more here than what I could find, but I just question if, I don't know, I just question if something is more here at work than just the feds or whatever, because you guys are, the way this man, let me just finish the story.
I'm rubbing my temples right now. It's stressing me out, people.
Well, it doesn't end there.
Oh my God, of course it doesn't.
The courts had instead put him in instead of a prison, they put him in a closed mental hospital.
As they should.
In Tashkent.
As they should.
But in 1989, 8 years later, Dzhumagaliev was...
Don't tell me that they let him out. Don't tell me that they let him out.
Dzhumagaliev was put in a request to be transferred to a different facility and to receive further treatment. It's not that bad.
Okay. I guess.
But on August 29th, 1889, his request had been granted, and while he was being transferred by car to the new facility, he manages to escape.
Oh my God.
Now, no idea what happens in this minute of high alert, because, come on. You guys are supposed to be watching this man, and he just, quote-unquote, vanishes into thin air, by the way.
Not once, but twice this man is like Harry Houdini and just vanishes because the police are, not paying attention. That's crazy. Crazy.
And now sources say that he wandered around the USSR for years, committing a series of murders in Moscow and Kazakhstan.
Years?
And he also tricked officials for a while. He was not direct with a friend he had made during these years about what he was up to, but he asked the friend to send a letter from Moscow to a family member in Bishkek. So when the family member received the letter, it was marked from Moscow, and police would think that they could track him down in Moscow or Bishkek, even though he wasn't really there. So I couldn't find the entire letter, but I did find a little piece of it at the end, and it says, quote, "Now I will return soon. There are a lot of beautiful women here. No one will notice their loss," unquote.
That's so messed up.
That's so
scary.
Now, crazy enough, this man went on to live his life for years before getting caught, and it was honestly, it was kind of on its own terms. On April of 1991, Nikolai knew that he was still being tracked, so he willingly ended his escape by staging a theft of stealing sheep. He knew that he would eventually be captured if he didn't do something, so he pretty much wanted to be in prison for a petty theft and for Fergana, Uzbekistan, which is a city where no one knew him or his crimes. So he figured that he would get this small sentence and then he would kind of just get the Moscow police off his back, which, I mean, that's kind of smart, I guess, if you think about it.
No, it doesn't really make sense to me, because, I mean, then he's found.
Well, I guess, oh, that's true. Yeah, I guess that's not even smart.
Like, moral of the story,
I guess in my mind, I guess
they can still put him away for those previous crimes.
The previous crimes.
Extend his sentence.
I guess in my mind, I was thinking if they're gonna catch him in another country, they don't know of his crimes. Therefore, if he's did a petty theft, he would be locked away for a certain amount of years instead of being locked away forever. But I guess that's his state of mind. I don't know. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me, but obviously this man is off his rocker.
It didn't make sense to anyone else because he, unfortunately, had his plan fall through during the interrogation when he couldn't explain why he was making his way through the Soviet Union stealing sheep. So they eventually found enough information on this guy and got in contact with the Moscow colonel Yuri Dubigin, who also previously caught him, and he returned him back to the psychiatric hospital in Kazakhstan. Sorry, I can't speak. So, I mean, you're kind of right.
So
it didn't make sense.
This man is stupid.
Yeah, he's not the... For him to escape so many times, I question it, but I guess he's not as smart as he might seem he is. And there was 3 separate times that this fool was institutionalized, so it makes sense, I guess, in that degree. And the 3rd time he asked to be given the death penalty, which the institution actually denied, which...
Why?
Well, okay, hear me out. I'm not actually against that, though, because if this man is going to just take the easy way out, then fuck him.
True, let this man suffer.
Let him suffer for the rest of his life being institutionalized. Like, bitch, no, you don't just get to take the easy way out.
He does deserve to die, though.
He does, though. I'm not going to lie. He doesn't deserve to be on this earth.
No.
These poor women. And then in 2014, he had been charged with the 1990 murder of an unidentified female in Oktober. He was found attached to, and it said that he is now held in a high security clinic in Aktas and the Soviet Union, where he is also working as a repairman.
2014?
Yeah, it was really recent.
How old is this man now?
I want to say he has to be in his 60s or 70s now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. You guys can do the math.
We're not good at math.
I'm not going to do the math. And now, here's the crazy part. This is the craziest part to me. So, more recently, in January of 2016, when we started swirling on Facebook and WhatsApp that Nikolai Dzhumagaliev had escaped... Yeah, I know.
Why WhatsApp? I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's funny.
I don't even know really how that app works, but I know that it's a direct message app.
Texting app. Like, why is it
I think what is that there was someone who was sending messages to other people that they knew and it's kind of starting there. So I think that's why they were referencing.
So random. Why not Twitter?
Yeah, who knows? Oh, God.
Okay.
But it started, rumors started swirling around that he had escaped the psychiatric hospital again and had murdered a woman on New Year's Eve. Now, the UK and Australian tabloids ate this up, and it kind of helped them track down the person who did this and put out these allegations, which actually, ironically, was a woman that lived in his hometown of Kazakhstan. The concerning part, though, is that the hospital never denied these claims. And over recent years, many news outlets have made attempts to confirm the whereabouts of Dzhumagaliev, but no one yet has confirmed it. And it's the fact that we don't know if he's actually being held in a psychiatric hospital or if they haven't said anything to the public about this yet, making his whereabouts today a mystery.
What? What?
I know. So, yeah, I don't even know how to go from that. This story just kind of... It put me through the ringer. And the crazier part, too, to me, is that if he was missing from a hospital, it would not be super surprising because there have been multiple times when he was deemed, quote-unquote, cured, and the hospital would give him freedoms he probably should not have had. But no one really knows, so I can't really speak for that hospital, but I hope that he is locked away and working as his repairman works, so...
I hope he's dead. Moral of the story is... women can't have shit. I wrote it down, too.
Oh, you did? Oh my god, I was like, what is that?
I typed it halfway through the story as he was telling it. Women can't have shit.
You're very correct about that. I am so sorry, everybody, for that.
I'm stressed. This man might just be like an old man just living his life.
He's living his life, and... it's not even in a prison, which I think he should be in, but more so a psychiatric ward or just roaming free. So
he should be in an Alcatraz.
Yeah, he should be. If that was still running, oh my god. There's so many people I could point out, and he would be one of them. It's just crazy to me because there's pictures of him and he does kind of look scary. I should show you some pictures.
What was the part about this man looking attractive? Because he does not look attractive.
He is not. Girl,
he looks really questionable.
Girl, he looks crazy as hell. Oh my god. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, no. No. He looks like he'd do some weird stuff.
That's the kind of shit that will haunt me in my dreams, I'm not gonna lie. It's not my dreams, my nightmares, more or less. So, woof. But the good thing is, next episode we'll bring it up a little more. We'll try to make it a little more less, I guess, horrific and more spooky. So I think we guys kind of deserve that by now. Not gonna lie, so it's okay.
All right, not really sure how to end this one off, considering that was a really messed up story.
Sorry, guys.
So I guess we're just gonna end it here. Some ways to reach us are gonna include Instagram at whenthelight_goes-out. And then our personal Instagrams are at This Is Kendall Hudson and at Brianna_Doyen. Our Facebook is When the Lights Go Out. Twitter is WTLGO Podcast, and our email is going to be WTLGOinquiries@gmail.com. Feel free to DM, comment, or email any stories you have and would like for us to share. Paranormal, etc., any request, because we would like to do future listeners' stories as well. Thank you guys so much for supporting and listening to today's really messed up story. We appreciate it, and we are excited to catch you in the next one. Hopefully it will not be as messed up as this one.
Not even close, I promise.
Thank God.
Well, thank you guys. We love you so much, and we will see you when the light
goes out.
Oh yeah.
Boy.